Oh, only the Dolphins. Only the Miami Dolphins would end a football game in that fashion. And don't get me wrong, I get it was Tim Boyle. I didn't think for a second the Miami Dolphins were going to find a way to win, especially when Tim Boyle came running on the field for that last drive. And the commentator goes, and Tim Boyle, in his 7th NFL season, has never had a game-winning drive in his career. I mean, I won't lie, that made me laugh a little bit just to see where we're at as a franchise. It's tough times out here in Dolphin land. And honestly, it's tough for me to try and stay positive when it comes to the team. I mean, listen, in real life, I'm positive. But you sit there, you force me to talk about this team, and there's a reason I've paused the preview videos. Maybe we'll resume with Tua coming back this week if he does. But there's a reason, and it's because it's just negativity, man. We're in a hurricane right now in Dolphin land, and some people I see actually convince themselves the Dolphins could win this game, or we're going to win this game. I was one of the people where I was very pessimistic going into it, as evidenced by the fact that I didn't even bother with the preview video again. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that, but I just can't. I can't force myself to sit here and say the same thing over and over again about how much we fucking suck, and it's been 20-something years. It's too negative, and that's just not how I want to run things, so that's the reason for me going off the beaten path a little bit. I'll still be here for the post games, no matter what. All right, we're letting it ride, no matter what. Here again. But let's talk about this game. Let's talk some positives before we get into the negatives. All right? The first things first, Jalen Ramsey. Hell of a game. The whole defense, hell of a game. Especially Jalen Ramsey. He balled out, played a real physical game. Jonnu Smith. Great game. Jalen Wright for like the 4 handoffs they gave him. He was good. So those are the 3 positives I take from this game. There certainly are pieces on this team that you can win with. However, I know the fan base is going to be looking for fingers or looking for somewhere to point the finger. And I think it's going to end up at Mike McDaniel. I don't think that's right. I think McDaniel called an okay game. They committed to the run game. I mean, that first half, extremely well coached. But the problem is you get the penalties. You get that drive, you're getting down the field, you get a holding call. Then an offensive face mask. Then Jonnu Smith is offsides. And that's it. You get some breaks. You get Richardson to fumble in the red zone. You get the ball back. It was a well-coached first half. You leave the first half ending with a lead 10-3. The Colts got a late field goal. Then you come out in the second half and Mostert fumbles the ball. And instantly it starts to unravel. All right, the defense can no longer hold. And then the Dolphins get another great drive. They're getting down the field. Ingold fumbles. This isn't play calling. This is just players just making errors, fumbling the ball, not being where they gotta be. The defense continued to play amazing. And eventually you get down the field. It's 4th and 1 because Ingold can't get a yard. The offensive line isn't holding up anymore. And Sanders, he doinks it off the upright. And then the Colts go down. They get one last field goal. You got one last chance. And you probably should have spiked the ball when it was 2nd down instead of dumping it off to Achane, but you didn't. You threw it to Achane, and you end up with the position you're in, 3rd and 1. You spiked the ball, 11 seconds to go. It's 4th and 1. Listen, you could just throw the ball up in the air and just pray your guy catches the ball in double coverage. I wouldn't have been mad at that. I would have accepted that reality. Just fucking throwing the ball out of bounds. It just makes no sense. And I can't tell if it was on purpose or not. I literally can't. I mean, I assume it was. He's a fucking I'm swearing again. I don't care. I'm letting it loose. He's a fucking NFL quarterback. I don't give a damn if he's never had a game-winning drive in his 7 seasons as an NFL quarterback. Just throw the fucking ball in the air and see if someone could catch the ball. I could have thrown the fucking ball up in the air. You just throw it up into the air, into the end zone. I don't give a fuck if it's intercepted. Just give someone a chance. But to throw the ball just out of the end zone, or just out of bounds towards the cameraman, just what the fuck are you doing? Who is this, a play call? Is that the play design? The give up? We got this far, let's just fucking quit. Fuck it. Let's go home. It just makes no fucking sense. It's just so many things that this team has done over 20 plus years makes no fucking sense. And I can't be mad at McDaniel, even though I'm mad at McDaniel for just the team being unprepared. But as far as play calling goes, I'm not mad at McDaniel. I thought he called a fine game. I thought the defense called a fine game. Huntley gets fucking hurt. We're down to our 90th quarterback. Tim Boyle. Tim fucking Boyle. Jesus fucking Christ. Where does it go from here now? All right, because it's over. The insufferable commentators in that game won. I mean, they wanted Indianapolis to win so bad. It was unbelievable. And they're all excited that the Colts are up fucking 13-10 in the fourth quarter. I mean, how excited can you be? I'm a bitter son of a bitch. But in any event, where do we go from here is the question. Tua's going to come back. Is it going to fix things? You're, 2-4 now? The Bills are getting away from you. They just fucking slapped the piss out of the Titans. I know it was close in the first half, but they came out there in the second half and did what they were supposed to do. They took care of business. The Jets, they got Devontae Adams. I mean, they're not good, but they're probably better than the Dolphins. And you found a way to fucking piss one out against the Patriots a couple weeks ago. So you're still better than New England. So I don't know. It feels like the Dolphins have been third in the AFC East. Well, the rest of the East shuffles my entire life. The Dolphins comfortably third pretty much every year, except for like the occasional second place. And that one year with Chad Pennington when I was like fucking 10 years old. I miss you, Chad. I really do. Wherever you are, Chad Pennington, if you're out there somewhere, just know I miss you, dog. I really do. I wish things would have been different and you never would have had your arm pop out of place in that game in 2010 against the Titans. Things could have been different, man. They could have been different, but they're not. And here we are. So Tua Tagovailoa probably going to come back next week. At least that makes it more interesting. I mean, I'll at least be interested to see how that goes. Could you imagine Tua comes back and balls out? I'd be pretty amazed. Considering, based on what we've seen the past couple weeks, a backup quarterback isn't even capable of throwing down the field with this Dolphins offense. Probably because it's so fucking complicated. And that's another problem for another day that we could discuss. I just think the offense is too complex. You got to dumb it down. You got to dumb the verbiage down. It's the National Football League. All right, these guys aren't going to watch as much film as you want them to. Just fucking dumb it down a little bit. How about some play action dump offs to the tight end? Some preseason style football. I mean, that'll get you some points, man. It will. But that's where we're at. That's where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. Another absolute terrible video by the Zamboni. The Dolphins are 2-4. I'll possibly check in with you Wednesday. I'll make a video, but it might not have anything to do with the Dolphins. I don't know. How long do you want me to stay sane for? How long do you want me to stay sane?